right. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Hello. Welcome back to the Saucy Sibz Podcast, everyone. My name is Nicodemus.
And I'm Francesca.
And we are so excited to have you back for another episode. It is our 33rd episode, which
Ooh,
I know, Francesca's favorite number.
It is my favorite number.
Yeah.
I follow this number around kind of the world.
I know. It's always like one of those numbers that I'm just like, yes, thank you.
And whenever I say anything and I'm like, oh, like maybe I should do this, that I'll like see a 33 and it's confirmation. Like it's like the number my angels used to speak to me for sure.
Yeah. So 33rd episode. Don't forget to like, thumbs up, comment, subscribe. We're pretty much on every platform right now. Like we're being listened to on Stitcher, Apple, Google, Spotify, obviously. And yeah, it's kind of been almost 40 different countries, every single continent. Like it's happening, you know? We're getting there.
Except Antarctica.
Yeah, we don't have data on Antarctica. So
so we don't know.
Yeah. There could be someone out there that is listening on Antarctica. Actually, speaking of that, so Steam, do you know what Steam is? It's like a gaming system.
I was like, water in its gaseous form.
No, Steam.
I was like, ding, 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 call on me.
It's like a gaming app. So like a lot of PC gamers use Steam. Okay. It's like, but anyway, but you can tell like where people are listening to, right? Mm-hmm. And there's actually a lot of listens or a lot of people on Steam in Antarctica because think about it, like people are gaming because there's not a lot of stuff going on in Antarctica. So like say if you're a scientist in Antarctica for a couple months, you're probably going to be on your computer using Steam. If you're a gamer, you know?
Okay.
So it's kind of funny that like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, like, I guess it's not very hard to like be listened to in Antarctica because people
new
consume
goal.
a lot of media there. Moving on. That was all I had to say about Antarctica.
I don't know. Sometimes when we take 2 weeks off the podcast, I get randomly nervous.
I feel like you get nervous every single podcast we do, though. To be honest.
And I love being on camera. There's something about like trying to think about people who are listening. So when there's no camera, I'm chill.
Yeah.
But then it's like I'm also on, I don't know. And I love it. So I don't understand like why.
Wait, we were actually talking about how sometimes we forget that we're adding video now. There's this one where I was like biting my nails like so hard while you were telling a story. And it's like, dude, you're on camera.
You're just like going in. Just digging out like an ingrown toenail.
Oh my God, no. But like, I mean, honestly, like have you ever like, I couldn't imagine like being a celebrity like that with a camera always on them because it's like, you can't do anything gross. And sometimes people do gross
You
things.
told me I did something gross the other day. What'd I do?
On podcast?
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe it was biting your nails or something. Cause we both do. We both bite our nails like hardcore, unless I have a manicure.
Well, that's why I need to go get my manicure fixed.
I know. People ask me, like, how do you stop biting your nails? I'm like, get a gel manicure.
Yeah.
But even
You're missing one.
I'm missing two.
What? His 2-pointer fingers.
These are almost 2 weeks old though. So
no, I'm due. I got
this
paid
is like
today.
15 days. Well,
I have money again.
we love when Francesca has money.
I get paid once a month. So for 2 weeks during a month, I have a lot of money. And then for 2 weeks during the month, I'm destitute. So bad. Because I don't know how to budget.
I know, yeah. Budgeting's hard. I actually know 100% how to budget, but I've just never done it.
What do you mean you know how? What, you went to class in high school?
No, I mean, I understand the general idea.
Yeah, I don't.
You take your income, then you divide it.
You don't need to explain to the people budgeting.
And then you're just like, oh, but I couldn't imagine me being like, oh, I've already spent $150 on food this week. I'm not going to spend any more. It's like, bitch, yes, I am. Like if I had a budget, I would never stick to it.
I got paid today and I thought about how I'm going to get a manicure. I'm going to get a massage. I'm probably going to get some Reiki. I'm going to go shopping. And that's just, it's not like I should figure out I have no idea how much money in bills I pay.
Nordstrom. You actually really don't. You pay a lot of bills and you never know when they're coming.
Never.
And you never know how much they are. Mm-mm. I don't have very many bills, so I know exactly what's coming. But there's a few. And I'm like, what was that? Oh, okay. But
I got into a car accident a couple days ago. And
two, right?
2 accidents. No, okay, that's not fair. You guys, I actually woke Nick up. I like waited until I heard him go to the bathroom. He goes to the bathroom the second he wakes up in the morning. And I was like, hey, Nick. And he's like, yes. And I was like, can I come in? And he was like, I guess. And I was like, do you think I'm cursed?
Yeah, I hadn't even opened my eyes for more than a tinkle. And you're already sitting on the edge of my bed, just not even looking at me, just like looking up at the ceiling. Like, I don't know. It's like, do you think that like demon spirits are like working through me to like make bad things happen? Because I just don't know. And I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, like, can you
I had been up
leave
for
me
hours
alone?
Marinating on these. I was thinking that maybe like if Reiki, some people think it's like of the devil. So maybe me going to Reiki had opened up a portal and gotten devil spirits like attached to me. Like I cursed myself.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm still not convinced I'm not.
I just feel like you've always kind of got yourself into really bad predicaments pre-Reiki, you know? So it's kind of
this is just a me thing. Like
I was like, we all can't be me.
It's just like a lot of things happen. But okay, in the people category.
Yeah.
Of like I've released some friends.
We can let them go.
Yeah. They were unsubscribing from them. But I do think that those are all blessings.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I've decided, guys, that things needed to break down in order for better things to come through. And you need like space, like leaving space to make space for other people and better things to come in. So I do think that they were all great things that happened to me.
Yeah.
However, the car accident and then the pop tire within 24 hours of each other was a little unprecedented.
You know, and I had just been out of town for 12 days. And then I get back into town and you're like, yeah, like literally the first night I hadn't been in Denver for like more than 1 hour. You've already like popped your tire, already being like, I'm cursed. And then I wake up in the morning and you're like, God, like I just know that evil spirits are working. I'm just like, whoo, whoo. We're back, everyone.
Yeah. Nick's been gone for 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
And okay, for one of those weeks, he was in the woods and he didn't have any service. So he couldn't receive text messages or anything.
Nothing.
So I think he would come back into service and just get screenshots and like shit from me of what was going on in my life.
Well, it was funny too, because I could tell that you were sending like a photo, but I couldn't load the photo. So I was just like, oh, look at this screenshot. And I'm just like, yeah, something happened. I don't know. And like, I just was like, you know, it was hard. I'm like out on a camping trip, you know? And so I was like, I'm like singing Kumbaya around the fire, you know? But that's why I was like, oh, Francesca, you're just going to have to handle this one on yourself. Okay.
I did.
You did?
I think quite well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In the past.
I
would have handled these things not well.
Didn't you say people were like, oh, like, what's Nick think about all this? You were just
I don't know. I am out here raw dogging the situation. Just going on my pure gut feeling. But like I held back. Like normally when I would have like reacted and done some shit, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let everyone else bury their fucking selves.
Yeah. It's always good to like step back and like react less. You're never going to like incriminate yourself.
You will never regret reacting later.
Exactly. 100%.
Oh, wait. That's actually, I've like kind of realized this. If you're still mad the next day, you can still make as much impact.
Yeah.
Just don't respond.
Sometimes it's better to just like sleep on it and then just be like, okay, like, well, that like I will respond in the morning, you know?
Or just never respond because it makes them madder.
Well, that's still a response though, you know?
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Actually, that's one of my favorite things that I like learned with like men or whatever in dating. No response is a response.
1,000,000%.
100%. It's not something I've been going through, but I'm just saying it's related. No response is always a response, and it's louder.
Yeah.
And you need to take that
to
heart and then move on.
Mm-hmm. Sort of related to that, like reacting less or like saying less. I saw this thing online that was like, why was I serious when I could have just been goofy?
Oh.
You know, because sometimes like you get like upset about things. It's just like, you know, I should have just like been a little sillier and just been like, yeah, that bitch is stalking me. And instead of yelling,
I don't know if that's a goofy way to like.
No.
But have you ever responded goofy in a situation and then they think that it's serious?
Oh yeah.
And then they get like offended, and I'm like, bro, I'm just out here
being
just
goofy.
being silly. Wait, that brings us to the fact that today is Wacky Wednesday.
Today is Wednesday. This will come out on Thursday, but
I wrote down, I was like, Nick was like, we were like writing kind of our podcast ideas, and I was like, Wacky Wednesday, and he was like, you.
Yeah. Okay.
This is a joke, and why this is, and I was making fun of him. He'll tell you.
Okay, so
this wacky guy, I'll just let you know.
I'm so wacky, you know. So the other day, so there was this man, that let's say I had a crush on. Let's say whatever. I don't really crush on people too hard, but anyway, was I into him? Maybe. Was I not? Also maybe. Anyway, so he spent the winter here in Colorado. So we got to hang out a lot. But after he'd left and like went back to his original home, you know, because he was just spending the winter here, he did like this long Instagram series on his story where he like posted photos with all of his friends that he made here in Colorado and stuff. And he said something. So say it would be like a picture of him and his one friend, like friend A. It's like, oh, with friend A, she's just like the best and blah, blah, blah. And have like a little blurb about her. And so I'm like watching all these like blurbs of all his friends. And you guys were
sort of romantically involved, but then not.
Maybe.
But just, there's some background here. So anyway, Nick gets to himself.
So he uploads a photo of me on his story. And it just says, and this wacky guy right here. I'm thinking, wacky? Like, that's what you're going to like use the word to describe me is like in my entirety? And like your goodbye post to me? Wacky?
So now I just like, oh, have you met this wacky guy, my brother?
It's like, what does that mean? Like, I kind of feel like a part of me is like, you know, I am kind of wacky.
No, Nick, wacky makes me feel like Bill Nye the Science Guy is
or
wacky.
Like, just like call me, like you should just, and this fucking clown.
That fits better.
No, I don't think he meant it like that. He definitely didn't, but it was just like.
But I almost think like that is a funny thing to a friend of yours, but like wacky? I just couldn't think if an ex-boyfriend described me as wacky.
He's not my ex-boyfriend.
I know, but like.
No, nothing like that.
I don't.
Wacky.
I'm just glad it wasn't me. I want your tombstone to read, here lies this wacky guy.
My epitaph, just Nicodemus Piazza.
What a hoot.
That was something. You know what I mean? What a good
Just always having a silly goose time.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Always chuckling in the corner. Like it's weird, you know?
But you're not
Whack.
You're not like ho ho ho.
Like, oh, look at me. I don't know how to snowboard. You know what I mean? Like it's just wacky. I don't know, but I'll be like sometimes I'll just catch myself like at work, like kind of zoning out, and I'm just like talking to myself like wacky, wacky guy. Hey guys, I'll be your server. Who's here for a wacky time? You know what I mean? It's literally like I don't even like the letter W.
I don't either anymore. I almost wanted to put it in your Instagram bio.
Just
call for a wacky time.
I know, just like what's your podcast about? Oh, it's just a wacky time.
Just us like
being wacky.
Just being wacky.
Just I don't know. Okay.
God, the word is lost.
I'm done saying it. Like how many times am I going to say wacky? Bitch, for the rest of my life. I'm
going to put in the podcast description every time they say wacky, take a drink.
Take a drink. Okay. Ooh.
Also, everyone, update. What are we drinking, Nick?
Okay. We are drinking highballs.
Yes. Well, Nick already drank too.
So
we're really getting wacky.
We're really getting wacky over here. Slamming energy drinks.
Okay. No, I actually love this company. So it's Highball Energy. So it's literally just carbonated purified water organic caffeine, organic guarana, organic ginseng, couple B vitamins, and that's it. And it just has some natural flavor in it, and it's unsweetened. So it's like a good energy drink, but then like kind of gives you a little up. The reason I like this company is because back when I was a like gluten-free food blogger and I didn't really know about influencing, I was just like reaching out for free shit. And I was like, hey, like I'm obsessed with you guys. I'm going on a like festival with my friends. This is like 2014. And I was like, can you guys send me some? They sent me like cases.
Really?
Not like a pallet, but I'm talking like.
That'd be aggressive.
Shows up to mom and dad's house. We back it into the. But no, it was like, I don't know, like 6 cases of each flavor that they had at the time. So like I showed up to this like festival with a trunk full of these like highball energy drinks. And from now on, like, I don't know how much really like press I gave them with my Instagram back in the day, but now I'm like, I've always fucked with them. Companies who are nice, like I will till the end. But anyway, Nick had 2 already. I had 1.
Yeah.
So now he has switched over to LaCroix.
Mm-hmm. Well, Waterloo, but seltzer water.
I don't know if I like Waterloo.
I like Waterloo.
Do you?
Yeah, I used to be really I used to be really opinionated on like seltzer water, sparkling water, mineral water, like, you know, and like all different things, but which flavors I thought were the best. And honestly, I stopped caring. They're fine.
No, it's like a lot of flavor.
Yeah.
Almost tastes like a popsicle.
Yeah, but not like a Spindrift. Because
no, I like a Spindrift.
I'm like, I don't care, but like, yeah, not like that bitch Spindrift.
No, Spindrift has the like just added fruit juice. It doesn't have any of the bullshit, which I think natural flavors are cancer.
I think they're little alien cancers. Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're not good for you. Anything that says natural flavor, even MSG can be under natural flavor.
Yeah.
Although you think that's conspiracy and MSG is fine for you.
MSG is fine for you. Google it.
I don't.
It's a racist smear campaign against Chinese people.
No, I haven't looked into it.
Whole rabbit hole.
Is it? Okay. Yeah. You said that, but maybe it's not, but a lot of the health influencers, they're not about it. No, I think it like does things to your brain.
It does do things to your brain.
Yeah, that's why it makes you eat more because you like love it.
It's it messes with like your taste receptors. Mm-hmm. But anyway,
we're gonna have an MSG expert on here. What's your favorite sparkling? Excuse me. It's the problem with drinking carbonated things. I'm always burping. Yeah. Did you cut my burp out of the last podcast?
No, I kept that in. I couldn't
hear it.
Well,
did I pull the microphone away?
No, you could tell. It was just like a soft burp, but it was like you could tell.
I thought you cut it out and I was pissed.
No. You could tell on the video, but it wasn't like, I left. I left that in. Don't you worry, everyone. But I think we took a quick break and you went over and you did a giant belch, and I was like, yeah. But yeah.
Your favorite sparkling water?
My favorite sparkling water, I think, would be Saratoga, served in a cobalt blue wine bottle, only in New York.
I've ruined you. No, it really. So it's like northern New York State area, but they have these like cobalt blue, like bright blue bottles. It's the perfect water.
It's really good. Like when you're in New York and they say sparkling or silly, sparkling please, and they hand you one of those, I'm like, oh yes, thank you.
Topo Chico, teeny tiny little bubbles.
I like Topo Chico.
It almost kind of burns. Do you like Pellegrino?
Yeah, I love Pellegrino.
Yeah.
San Pellegrino.
Mm-hmm. I only like in glass though. I'll drink it in the plastic, but I just feel like I'm like.
I saw on TikTok someone was talking about Pellegrino, and they were like, "Hot girls drink Pellegrino." I was like, I mean, so does the entire world. But what's our next topic?
No, I was talking about how we are drinking sparkling water on the Saucy Sibz Podcast because we're on a fitness journey.
We are here doing it. I haven't drank for like 48 hours, which it's been like 36 hours really, but it's going strong.
Yeah.
I don't really crave alcohol as much as it would seem. It's more of like muscle memory. It's like I love to just go get a beer.
Well, because it's just like what you do.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's like super easy.
Yeah. But it's, it's hot boy summer is almost over. So gotta really work up to that. But no, it's good to take breaks. You know what I mean?
We're taking a break.
And we're taking a break in a while.
Fit. We also have to shoot a cover for our podcast art. We're getting a logo done and shooting a podcast cover because this is just like some random fucking picture we chose.
Yeah.
From like just that we had. But we're in like to fully launch ourselves now that we like It's like a real ass podcast.
Yeah, now that we actually have listeners and
we need to like do the right shit. So I'm like, oh my God, Nick, we have to schedule and like spend money and like hire a photographer for this like cool ass cover art. So I was like, we got to get fit.
We got to get fit. It's like, I have no business not being fit as fuck.
No.
It's like really at the end of the day, like, like, yeah. Why aren't you Thor? Wait, someone told me the other day that I looked like a mixture between Thor, if Thor and Jonathan Van Ness had a baby.
Did we not talk about that?
I don't think we did. Maybe.
No, because it happened after the podcast we recorded in West Hollywood. Someone came up to you. And if we did, you guys, I apologize, but it's the best compliment Nick's ever gotten. And I mean, people tell you look like Aquaman all the time.
Okay.
Which is bizarre.
So I get Aquaman a lot, but let me go on record and say this. I couldn't be more flattered that someone would think that I look like Aquaman. However, me saying this, I feel like people would be like, does Nick think he fucking looks like Aquaman? I don't think I look like Aquaman. And my point being is I'm just not like a ripped Hawaiian man. I'm not.
Facts.
I'm like,
you're blonde hair, blue-eyed.
Yeah, I know he's got kind of like the blonde ends in his hair and they're curly, but I cannot tell you that I get this a lot. And especially I was just visiting a summer camp that I used to work at, and there's lots of like boys, it's summer camp. So there was a lot of these like, 10 to 14-year-old boys that were there that don't even know me. And they were all like, Aquaman. And I'm like, damn, thank you guys. But maybe I can work up to that and like, do what the Kardashians did and like, change their race by getting a whole bunch of like spray tan or whatever. Like maybe, but
I think, yeah.
Isn't that?
But the Jonathan Van Ness
Thor that I could see. Yeah, I can definitely see that. I'm also here for that compliment as well.
You know who people have been telling me I look like a lot lately, and I actually don't really think so? Elizabeth Olsen.
Their mom?
No, their sister. She was in the Marvel movies. She's dating like the guy who's like a god, like the blue man.
You mean Thanos? The purple dude? Someone did not say you look like Thanos. No, I'm kidding.
No.
No. That's her boyfriend. Okay.
Yeah. Wanda, Elizabeth Olsen. So Wanda is also known as the Scarlet Witch. She dates Vision, who has like one of the stones that Thanos is after in his head.
Oh. I don't really do Marvel. I'm not.
I know
hating.
you like.
I'm not hating.
You hate Marvel.
I mean, I don't want to go on record and say that, but like, it's just not for me. But like, I'm a huge Star Wars fan too, so it's like.
It's not that you're not a nerd. You just don't really fuck with Marvel. Okay, what do you think?
I don't see it all.
At all. Isn't it funny how some people like think that you look like certain people?
I know. It's always funny how you can see different things in people. I swear, like.
Well, some people think we look like
you and I.
Yeah.
Some people call us twins. I'm like, bitch.
They're like, it's like you guys are obviously twins. And then other people don't think we look alike. Like in the least.
Well, when we were in Napa and everyone thought that we were dating, I told someone that and they were like, but you guys look the same. So how would they even think that you guys were together? And I'm like, I don't think we look the same.
No. But anyway, we're on our fitness journey, guys.
Yes.
And
we've decided we were thinking about like personal trainers, Yeah. And we've decided that a Butch Lesbian would be the best.
So all of my personal trainers in the past, I'm not sure why, but they have mostly been very large, like black men. And I don't know, that just don't happen. But like my trainer Leon would come in from Queens, meet me in the financial district. He would meet me in my apartment on Wall Street. And he would just kick my ass. Yeah. And like every little bitch ass thing that I would complain about, like he would tell me about the shit he deals with in Queens. And I loved it. He'd be like, oh, really? Like, you think that's hard? And he would talk about like hustling. And honestly, he didn't take any of my shit. But then sometimes I think men can be a little too nice to me. So we've decided that we need a Butch Lesbian.
Right. Because I could not, like, if you had a straight man, they're just too nice to you. If I had a straight man, I don't really like straight men. I'm just kidding. No, I just feel like I was just. And then if I had a gay man, well, but if you had that wouldn't go well. You know what I mean? That would not be good.
Like if we had a hot gay man, if you started sleeping with our personal trainer, that drama.
Or I would just feel like inadequate and be like, God, my hot trainer is just like over here looking like that. You know, no, it just wouldn't be good. So I feel like. Sometimes I feel like just straight men say very straight things. I kill me, but I feel like I would need a butch ass lesbian that just got released from prison.
Yes, that's what we decided we wanted.
Like a car mechanic.
Yes,
but buff.
Okay, like Michelle Rodriguez, or are we talking like buzzed hair?
I'm talking like
Michelle Rodriguez is kind of like the butch girl that's in Fast and the Furious. Just FYI, Vin Diesel's. Love interest.
She's too feminine. I'm talking butcher. You know,
okay.
I want like bull dyke.
Okay.
Can I say that? Is it an offensive term?
I don't know. I'm sure TikTok doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'll cut that out.
You can bleep it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to be like yelled at.
Yeah.
Not like a cuck. I don't want to be like belittled, but maybe like just yell at me about how fat and worthless I am.
No, that's not. I feel like that's not productive. I mean, maybe
that might
it
just
is.
be a fantasy.
Yeah. Is that?
I don't know.
Huh.
But anyway, so we're taking applications for trainers.
Yeah. DM us, you know, and I need to see photos of you because if you're like, I need dyke, you know, I mean, I need butch.
If you're not giving dyke energy, then please don't apply.
Exactly.
But anyway, we're reaching a new era. There was just an 8/8 Lionsgate portal.
Yes.
In astrology. Do you know exactly why that portal was happening? Did you read?
The Lionsgate is the highest one, and I think it's because it has something to do with one of the Canis Majors. So like Canis Major is a constellation, and then that is like coming towards that. So it's like the time before the like pretty much high summer full moon, which is coming up.
Okay. I just read that it was like the biggest portal of the year.
Yeah, that's what they say. It's like the biggest like release of energy. But this one isn't necessarily like the best, but yeah. But it is like
some shit has happened for me.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like ready to take off. Like things broke down. We're ready for new energy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in that spirit of that energy, we just got 8 cases of sparkling water.
Yeah. And
if any sparkling water brands want to sponsor us as well, we'll be trying it out. I'll down to do a taste test.
A taste test of sparkling water.
And rank them.
I mean, I have opinions about sparkling water. You know, I tried a German one that was, I was over in England and the bubbles were the tiniest. It was almost like a gentle zzz. It was the craziest thing I've ever felt. It was almost not even sparkling.
Zac Efron did like a water.
Yeah.
There's like a water sommelier.
Sommelier.
I don't know how to pronounce that.
I literally, it's French. I don't know. I don't
Je
try.
comprends un peu le français?
None.
Which is, I understand a bit of French, but
I don't even know how to say like wine in French.
Vin.
Vin.
De la bière, de la vin. That means like, do you want beer or do you want wine?
Is it really just vin?
Vin. Huh. It's VIN, but it's not vin.
Vin. Boring.
Someone's going to come after me. Listen, I dated a French guy for 6 months. That is like how I know any French. I never even took it in class. So like, that's why I know like, est-ce que vous voudriez corcher? Wait. Est-ce que vous voudriez quelque chose?
Francesca, we have French listeners. Stop.
I think that means, what do you want to drink? De la bière, de la vin. That's, oh fuck, rip me apart, guys. But I don't think it was that bad. But I just said it could be wildly wrong. I just like remember we would like go to restaurants together. So like that's normal things that people would ask me, like, what do you want to drink? Beer or wine?
Beer or wine.
And then I would say to people like, I understand a little bit of French.
Yeah.
Which is lying because it's less than a little.
You know, I lie and say that I can understand a bit of Japanese. And I listen, like I kind of can, or I could a little bit, you know, or I could read a little bit because I lived in China for a bit. So I was pretty good at Mandarin for a bit. So I know speaking, they're not the big of a difference, but I did spend time in Asia, you know, and like I just know a lot of Japanese people. I've been to Japan and stuff. And then they use the kanji characters. So sometimes I can kind of Sometimes, like on a menu.
But like literally, if someone asked you 4 sentences, you'd be like,
I can say, yeah, like the basics, like of.
It's like how I had climbing in my Tinder profile.
Climbing. Yeah. But no.
Interest climbing. Nick speaks Japanese. I told people I spoke French before.
Really? Well, that's just a blatant lie.
Okay, so Nick's been gone for 2 weeks.
I've been gone for 2 fucking weeks.
People thought you moved back to the Midwest.
I know. People were asking you where I've been. Like people.
Well, we're always together. So people were like,
where's Nick?
They were like, how are you doing? Like, where's Nick? Like, what are you? And I was like, he's disappeared from my life.
He's gone. No, yeah. I had 2 weddings that were in the Midwest kind of back to back. So I just decided to fly out to St. Louis and then go down to Springfield, Illinois, then visit the summer camp that I used to work at, and then swing up to Chicago and then come back.
What did you travel in though?
Okay, so since I flew to my parents' house in St. Louis, they had an extra car, which actually was my grandpa's car, that he's just not using at the moment. So I was like, okay. They were like, you can take that. It is a King Ranch excursion.
So they're the biggest Ford they make.
The biggest Ford that's on that. No, it's the biggest SUV on the market.
Really?
Yeah, it's
bigger than the Suburban.
No, yeah, it's way bigger than the Suburban. The Suburban, yeah.
Suburban.
Yeah. No, it's way bigger. It has an extra set of seats in the back.
And the big. King Ranch is like the fancy version.
So it's got like a leather interior and it's just very nice and kind of like I felt like I was driving a movie theater. You know what I mean? Like
it's kind of what it's like.
Yeah, it's big. And my grandpa is a conservative and he has Trump stickers on, not bumper stickers, but on like his back window. And people were like, Nick, is this your car?
Does it say my dog is smarter than the president?
No, it doesn't say that.
Did he take that one off?
That was his last car. No, it says, don't blame me. I voted for Trump.
Oh, okay.
Which is way better than my dog is smarter than the president because that one really fucking irked me. But anyway.
So Nick, the
gay liberal just out here
and like you're in the woods, you're camping, you're Colorado, and you're just out here. Don't blame me.
I voted for Trump. Beep beep. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's massive, and people are like, "What car is?" Well, first they were like, "Whose car is that?" And then they're like, "But what car is that?" Like, what make is that? I'm like, "Yeah, it's the Ford Excursion King Ranch." Duh.
Because our parents have the Expedition, which is big.
This is the bigger one.
Yeah, the excursion.
So
you went on an excursion though.
I did.
And you told me you had so he has his, of course, like colorful, like All Saints shirts, like hung up on hangers in the back. Yeah, said he had the seats down, a bed.
Yeah, I had my sleeping bag with a pillow. I had my clothes, my dress clothes for the wedding.
A little cooler?
Yeah, I had a cooler full of like some peanut butter and jelly and some Busch Light, some cold brew coffees. I was really living out of this King Ranch excursion, driving around the Midwest, like camping and going to weddings and stuff. It was a lot of fun.
You drove it to Chicago.
I drove it straight up to Chicago. And what's crazy is this car is so big, but it's fast.
Oh.
Yeah, it's got a huge engine. It's like, it literally, like...
It just wants to go on excursions?
Yeah, it's literally like the excursion. Like, I went on an excursion.
Yeah.
No, it's have you ever thought about like the Ford E's? So like Ford Explorer, Ford Expedition, Ford Excursion. Like whoever thought about that is so smart.
Isn't there a Ford Edge?
I don't know. I'm not really sure what a Ford Edge is. Ford Escape? Because you're getting away. You're escaping.
Wait, why are they all E's?
Isn't that kind of, you've never noticed that?
No.
I like it though, but they're all like adventurous, like movement, like words. So whoever thought of that, I'm sure like, got a raise, because I love it. But yeah, so I flew to St. Louis and the funniest fucking thing happened though. Okay, guys. Now, what I do, I was flying Southwest and like what I do is I love to like, I'm always the last one to board the flight.
We've told the people this before.
Yeah.
You sit in the back with your girlies.
I sit in the back with my girlies. Totally. And so where I was, like, I get to see everything that happens on the plane. So if there's ever like mayhem or like foul play happening.
Never thought foul play.
I don't know.
How much foul play have you seen on the airplane?
Not really much at all.
But if there were going to be, you would see it?
No, I Hawkeyes. Okay. I got the whole plane.
You can just scan it. Did you know it's a Sicilian thing? Someone told me this. I don't know if this is true. Italian TikTok, I would love to hear. Someone told me because I like, when you go to a restaurant, well, I really just hijacked your conversation,
no, it's okay,
but this is okay. So might want to start this over, but Sicilian, Italian TikTok, please let me know. So when I go into a restaurant, I'm very specific about the seat that I sit in. Some people don't care the seat they sit in. I have to be able to see the restaurant. Like I can't be facing a wall. Freaks me the fuck out. Like I can't enjoy my meal. I can't sit.
Yeah.
I have to like be able to see out and see the door.
In case the murderer comes in?
No, someone told me it's a Sicilian thing.
Because of the mob?
Because of the mob
Wow.
that Sicilians don't like to have their back to the door and like to be able to see. And I was like, do you think, and they were Sicilian and they were like, no one's ever told you that? And I was like, no, because it's like a deep, deep thing inside of me. And our whole family, mom has to sit in a specific spot. I think sometimes
she's picky. Like she's just high maintenance.
I know. I might just be high maintenance.
She's like, you never know if the mob walks in.
Someone told me it's a Sicilian thing and I need to know.
No, I think we should do more research on that because I could see that. But like, I do know people, especially like older men, are very, very particular. And it was a status thing, like the best seats in the house and the worst seats of the house. And like the worst seats of the house are like next to the restroom.
Yeah.
And that's a
fuck you.
I don't.
If you're a random person going to a random restaurant,
and
they don't know, and it's
like
an open table.
Like, yeah, like.
But at a nice New York City restaurant, and you kind of think you're somebody or whatever, and you get sat next to the restroom, like it is the worst seat in the house.
I could see that, like if it is like, yeah, you know what I mean. But
there's
like,
just a bunch of people in and out, and it like is disturbing.
Yeah, so I know some people are about that, but like, I mean, I don't know. I don't really. I don't care where I sit. I love a window though.
Yeah, I like to sit outside. Some people have very strong opinions about outside of a restaurant.
I don't really love. I mean,
you don't like sunlight though.
I don't like sunlight. I don't like wind.
I'm high maintenance.
I know.
You're high maintenance about little things.
I know.
Like
I'm just like, have you ever had your menu blow into the street?
I don't want to.
It's like, I mean, what
I'm trying to eat outside in a tornado. That's not the time I choose to eat outside. Yeah. Anyway, back to the plane.
Others, yeah. Back to the plane. Oh my God. Yeah. So I'm in the back. Okay. Mm-hmm. And Hawkeye's on everything.
Yes.
And I see this woman, she comes out of the bathroom and I guess she's like trying to find her seat, but she got lost. She literally got lost on a plane.
But like,
there's only like one. I guess what happened was she was looking for her husband who was sitting right next to her, but he went to go to the bathroom to like take a shit.
While she was in the bathroom.
Yeah. So
she had to take a shit?
Yeah.
You don't know what he was doing.
Well, because he was gone for a long time,
okay.
You know? So, but she didn't know.
That's presumptuous.
She just didn't know, you know? So, I think maybe she was drunk. She's probably in her 60s too. And she was walking up and down the aisles. Like she walked one way, turned around. And it's once I turned around, like she turned around that I saw her. And then she walked up again, and then she was kind of like, I lost my seat, like kind of like trying to joke about it and make it seem less awkward. And then she was like, so then she walks back, then she walks up again, and then at this point she's kind of like, like okay, like like I know I have a seat somewhere, you know. And then she like she's walking back,
wacky movements.
Then she's like, kind of doing this, like looking for her husband, like and like completely fucking lost. Okay. And I'm like, no. This woman is completely lost on this flight. And there's only up and down, you know?
Yeah.
And so then she like looks at someone, she goes, I'm sorry, I just lost my seat. Like, I don't know where I was sitting. And then the turbulence hits. Okay. And then so she had to like hold on to like to one of the seats and was like, help me. And then it kind of like went back and then she just got slammed into the chair.
To another person?
No, like to the person or like to the chair, like that was on the other side of the aisle. And she was then like at that mode, like full about to panic, you know, just like looking around. And then her husband comes out of the bathroom and was like, babe, what's going on? And she was like, where are we seating? And he's like, we're right here. And she was like, and sits down. It looked like she was in like an airplane crash, like a Hollywood movie that like the plane was crashing, just like completely lost, and like the plane was on fire and she's getting thrown around, and I was fucking dying laughing. Like my jaw was dropped laughing while this whole thing was going down.
Laughing?
Yeah. The one of the flight attendants was.
You didn't help her?
And I was actually talking.
I don't think they give a shit. I think they deal with so much of the general public.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck about you.
I actually told this story to your point. That's so true, because I told this story to my friend who is a Southwest flight attendant. And she was like, you'd be surprised at how often that happens. And I go, really? She's like, it's mostly kids. That kids get lost and all of a sudden start screaming that they have lost their parents in like the middle of the flight, you know, because they went pee. But she was like, it does happen with adults, especially if they've been drinking or like, I don't know, maybe they're lightheaded or something, that people just get full on like lost in a labyrinth and their family is gone and somehow they're on a different plane. Like, yeah, it's so, I've never seen anything
gotten
like
lost?
It. On a plane?
Yeah.
No.
In general, Nick has PTSD. We lost him as a child.
I got lost a lot as a kid.
You were the third child.
I know. I was like lost at Six Flags for like 15 hours.
Oh yeah, you have like weird trauma from that.
Yeah, the Six Flags thing was crazy. And then I also got lost in Florida on the beach.
You know how like kids go out to the beach and then like the tide kind of brings them down? He was like not paying attention, and I guess my parents weren't paying attention.
And I just like floated down the beach.
You're like a long time. 3 or 4.
Yeah. I barely remember this, but it was
But mom and dad thought you were 100% abducted. Yeah. I think mom still has trauma from it.
Well, I think what happened too is like I floated down and then I walked up onto the shore, like on the sand. And then I was like, where the fuck are they?
Yeah.
Is kind of what happened. But
you were lost. I don't want to say because I was probably like 10, so I don't remember. I think it was like an hour.
Really?
It might have only been 30 minutes, but enough for mom and dad to think you were full on abducted. And we had, screaming, had everyone involved. Like,
really?
You were a little kid.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad.
I mean, getting abducted and drowning at a beach are two like very possible options.
Very easily possible things.
And I feel like back in the 90s, weren't kids like getting abducted? Like kidnapping was a big deal.
I don't know.
I feel like that was. I don't know. Or maybe I was just a kid and always hearing about it. But yeah, so have you been lost?
Nah.
No?
I don't think so.
That's very surprising to me.
Yeah. No, it is. But I was the first kid. So I feel like when I was that little.
It was always like eyes on. Yeah, like eyes on
mom and
you.
dad left you at home one time in the car seat on the island. Like on the kitchen table.
Oh, really? I have never heard of this.
Yeah.
Wait, that's hilarious.
No. They like got in the car, packed up the kid, like me and Max, and like we drove somewhere and they were like, oh, shit. We forgot Nick. You were literally in your car seat on the kitchen counter, just like, dude. And Nick was just like a chill kid. So you were just like, like just, you're just literally just chilling. But they screamed, pulled the car around, and they're like, oh my God, we left him at home.
Oh my God, I love that. I really never heard. See, no one would have told me that at my adult age. So
you're old enough now. But
yeah.
There's a lot of things like you don't remember because you were so little. Like I'm the one that like remembers like stuff from our childhood.
I wonder what happened in your childhood that you don't remember, and you don't have any other children or witnesses.
To tell me, God, who knows?
I know, because it was their first kid.
Yeah.
So who knows?
They would never tell me. I do know that my mom's best friend slammed my head into a dresser as a baby. No, bad. You know when they're doing like airplane, like wait, like okay, so the kid's on the stomach and you're like doing the airplane, and she was just swinging me in my bedroom, but pretty hard.
Like an infant?
Yes, no, an infant.
Yeah.
And she slammed my head into like the pole of the dresser, and it. Like they said, I screamed for hours. Like I had a full-on baby infant concussion.
Wow.
I've probably never been. It's probably what's wrong with me.
I mean, I wasn't gonna make that joke. Like, oh, that explains it. But like, I mean, maybe. You know what I mean?
I feel like there's something. There's like a screw loose, and I mean, I don't think you're supposed to get a concussion as an infant. Miley Cyrus talks about it.
Miley Cyrus
she thinks that might be why she's kind of nuts and doesn't really have, and you know what, she's Sagittarius too. Her and I are so similar.
Yeah.
But she says that maybe why she doesn't give a shit what people think and just does and says whatever she wants. She's like, it's probably related to when my dad like gave me a concussion as a child. And
she was on the back of a four-wheeler
or a dirt bike
or something as a kid and they weren't wearing helmets. Billy Ray was driving and then she hit like a
branch
and it like took her off.
It clotheslined her off.
Yeah. Wow.
And she said that she it literally might be the way why she is the way she is. So same. I'm just going with Miley on this. But she also says that the way she, like who she is of being like, do anything, say anything, like not give a shit is also why she's so successful.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with that.
Yeah.
That's why.
I think that's a good way to be, but I will say that her story is way better.
Airplane into yeah, it's not as cool. But
oh my gosh.
But what do you do if your friend does that to like your baby?
I mean, accidents happen.
Yeah.
But I feel like mothers in their like motherly response would have a really hard time like reacting calmly to that. However, like in the history of humanity, like dropping kids
are pretty resilient, but brains are important.
I know, right? But I feel like, I mean, people have been dropping babies since babies have existed. I'm not saying it's okay, and we should do everything in our power to keep babies from dropping. But it happens.
Just the things that I can think that mom and dad used to do to me is also one time on a road trip, I wouldn't stop screaming because you're saying no other kids were there to tell me.
Oh, yeah.
But the things that they have told me are pretty ridiculous. They said, one time we were on a road trip and I wouldn't stop screaming, but they didn't have any food for me. So like, those little milk bone dog treats. They handed one back to me.
And they just
and I ate it.
Dog treats.
I ate it and I shut up. So they were like, this should be fine. Well. So they like fed me milk bones for this trip until they stopped. And they were like, I mean, it's not going to hurt her.
I feel like dad would find that hilarious. I could see dad just be like, it worked.
I mean,
imagine that. Yeah.
They were pretty like, I feel like chill parents. Like they let us get hurt and go out and do.
Yeah. They weren't by any means like helicopter parents.
No.
But yeah.
Now I want to know. I want to like have them back on the podcast, and I want to know like.
I need to know all the secrets.
I want to know if I ever got lost.
You probably did, because didn't you like run away a lot?
I think I pretended to, but I was always too much of a pussy.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. I've had a lot of kids. Like back when I was a camp counselor, kids run away all the time. It's kind of hilarious because it's like, okay.
When they're a camp counselor, at camp,
oh yeah,
into the woods.
Yes. And I'm talking, they just run far away. And
you just
by
let
far
them?
away, yeah, they'll be back. They always.
Yeah,
they don't go straight into the woods. They go like down a trail, and then they go down like around a corner, and then they come back. Like it's not even 5 minutes. Literally not even 5 minutes. And they act like they're the first ones to like leave and do this, and it's like third one this week. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know.
Another weird thing that you do on planes and in airports is you dehydrate yourself.
Yeah.
You asked me because we were like, okay, should we talk about like transit and like airports? Like we always just, I feel like have like, I mean, everybody has airport stories, but
I don't like to eat or drink.
So I don't like to eat. I'll go with you on that. Nick was like, Francesca, are you like the person that gets a meal? Who the fuck goes and gets a full ass meal? And I know there's some of you out there that are listening.
Those people that walk onto the plane late with like 14 like Chick-fil-A bags, and then they open it up and it's just like the whole restaurant or the whole cabin smells like a Big Mac. Oh my God.
But when you're on a plane, like I feel like I get bloated and like constipated and like I don't want any food in my system.
I don't eat the peanuts.
No, it makes me feel I don't. The peanuts aren't, well, I'm nut free and gluten free. I can't eat peanuts or pretzels.
Well, you're not missing anything.
No.
I feel like as a kid it was like, ooh, peanuts, but I love that they actually pass out like peanuts to the people to like.
I don't think they do that anymore.
Not peanuts, but they do pass out little
people
snacks.
Die.
Yeah. And I always just go, no thanks.
Just, you're good. So you just choose not to?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I do drink alcohol.
You drink on every flight?
Always.
So does Dad.
I'm actually not able to get on a flight without drinking.
It's not because you're nervous?
No, I just like to drink on airplanes. I think it's fun,
That's our dad's favorite place to drink, I feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like one time I was doing work on my laptop and I had a little Bloody Mary and there was like this sunset happening and I was like, wow, best office ever. Yeah.
Office vibes.
Oh my God.
The amount of remote workers that I'm friends with on Instagram, and I understand it's cool. And I've probably definitely done it, but still.
I feel like you did it yesterday, like at House of Vibes, like.
But it is a vibe there.
It is a vibe. No, yeah, I like to drink alcohol. I love a beer at the airport. I don't do too much. Like I'll get 1, maybe 2 beers at the airport, unless it's a layover and I'm with friends. Oh, if it's a layover and I'm with friends.
One time I was taking shots with some guys I met at an airport.
Yeah.
And I missed my flight.
He just full on. Whoop.
Yeah, they were like, don't you have to go? And I was like, it's not like they're going to leave without me. You guys, did you know flights will leave you? No, Nick, I didn't know.
Francesca.
Nick, I didn't.
What do you think they were going to call you?
Early. Yeah. Well, they called me, but apparently I didn't hear.
Francesca.
No, I thought that you could get there before takeoff time. If everybody else is on the flight but you, they will take off without you 10 minutes early. They'll pull out early. Did you know this? Before the time on your ticket, if everybody else is on the flight except one person.
But not like boarding time.
Because like boarding takes like half an hour.
Yeah.
I'm saying takeoff time. I thought takeoff time was the earliest time they were allowed to leave, like a bus. The buses don't leave early.
Sometimes, but that's so rare. So like,
no, the flight left early. It left 5 to 10 minutes before, and they were like, I like ran there, and I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, we shut the gate, and they took off early because you were the only one. And I was like, you can't do that. They're like, not even, we absolutely fucking can. No, they can leave up to 15 minutes before takeoff time if everybody else is boarded.
That just seems like a bad idea.
It's rude. I had to, and
that's the funniest story ever though. Like you just were taking shots of all things, like.
Literally like with some dudes I met. I was in Detroit for work at the time when I like used to be corporate. And I didn't want to tell my company that I missed my flight
because we were taking shots.
So I got like an airport hotel. I spent the night. I got on like a 6 a.m. flight back to St. Louis.
Yeah.
And then I landed at the airport and I drove to work. Wow. So like I got there that morning and just pretended. They're like, "Oh, how was your flight last night?" And I was like, "It was good." And I like, of course, they paid for all my flights, and I just paid for my own flight.
Wow.
Because I fucked up. But I didn't want them to know. I was like, I'm not good at lying.
Yeah.
I mean, that I guess was like kind of a lie, but like I didn't want to be like, "Oh, like how'd you miss your flight?"
They left. Yeah, I would be pissed if they left 15 minutes early. I could totally see a lot of people getting into like that predicament.
But like, then someone told me that that's a known thing. That's why you get there around boarding time.
Well, yeah, of course.
I was next to my gate. It was my gate and the restaurant. I was 10 feet from it. That's why I was like, guys, I'm fine. I'm going to walk on. My flight doesn't take off for 15 minutes. Take the shot, paid, and then walk. And they were like, no. And I was like,
man.
So, but I have to have a water bottle. That's one thing. You know this about me. Yeah. I don't go anywhere without multiple beverages.
I don't own a water bottle.
Yeah, you don't. I have 95.
No. Not even when I hike. Like if I'm going backpacking, I have a Camelback, but no. You know what's also weird? Like when people have like water bottles and then they're going through security and then they're like, you can't have this. And they'll sit there in line and just chug it like they're in Beta House. It's like, what?
They go on a full-on chug.
Why? You will get more water. Just throw it away. I promise.
Yeah. I can sometimes get upset because I don't drink tap water, so I don't fill it up. That's why I never bring a water bottle. I just buy one, which might be terrible of like one single-use plastic, but I usually fill them up for a while. Like I get a Smart water bottle. Those guys are sturdy.
So I actually love going backpacking with Smart water bottles because they're light and they're really I always travel with those if I need a water bottle. Like when I was in India, I had a Smart water bottle.
In India?
In India, yeah.
That's how you traveled through India?
I got one from like the Walgreens next to our house in St. Louis. And I held on to that Smart water bottle for years. Not years, no. Like pretty much weeks. I think it was like a month, like 2 months.
In India.
Well, yeah.
That's like a Smart water commercial.
I know.
Are we a water influencing podcast?
No, they like don't break.
No, they don't. They're great. They're my favorite ones. So
and
that's why I buy it and I have them for a while.
The Hydro Flask thing, like, you know, when people have those like massive Hydro Flasks, I like that they're insulated and they do work. However, they're just 20 pounds. And I'm just not carrying a 20-pound Hydro Flask with me.
No.
You know?
I just travel with mason jars. But the thing is mason jars break.
And you break them all the time.
All the time. There's
just shattering glass everywhere.
There's glass on the floor of my car.
Yeah.
Don't get in there barefoot. There is.
Yeah.
I will often leave them on top of my car and drive away.
Mm-hmm.
So then I have like glass like outside my apartment. So I'm just like pretty like clumsy. I drop them all the time.
I know. That's why you should get a smart water bottle.
Yeah, probably.
And just keep them because they don't break and they don't throw glass everywhere, which is something you do.
And sometimes if you slam your backpack down, I've like broken them inside my backpack.
Yeah.
So now I have smoothie glass all over my laptop.
I've seen you break like green smoothie in your backpack.
Yeah.
And it's disgusting.
Often.
The idea of a green smoothie breaking with shattered glass in my backpack would ruin my fucking week.
It's just the type of chaotic energy I live in.
No.
Okay, you guys, that is our quick little update on what's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
And basically,
I'm back in town.
And we're on a fitness journey. So like, Nick, let's just fucking put this on TikTok. And
like our fitness journey?
I'm not kidding.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll do thirst traps.
Everybody loves a good fitness journey.
Everyone does.
Are you going to do thirst traps now or like thirst traps when you're
I've never
not saying you're out of shape, but like
I am out of shape. Okay. Thanks, Francesca. But no, I just like I get shirtless all the time at bars.
No, you do.
Yeah,
you have a fine body. But here's the thing. Both our bodies are fine.
Fine.
But this is like at a bare minimum.
Yeah.
I mean, I walk. I hike every day. But like, I'm saying like we've been drinking every day. I was like, Nick, all we have to do is just like cut that out. And then that's what I'm saying. Like it's not like this whole hard thing I think we're going to have to do. Like, I feel like the bare minimum will like get us somewhere.
And exactly. It's just like a little bit more, but I definitely want to like put a little bit more focus on it because it's just good for PR.
Honestly.
No, but
I'm like, Nick, like we were just better looking. Pretty sure the Instagram would do way better.
If I had a chiseled chest, things are easier.
Okay, gay men just follow a bunch of other gay men on Instagram. And I was like, Nick, like you really just need to do this for the team. Because I feel like men would just follow the podcast and be like, God, this fucking girl's on there sometimes. If
I get too hot, I'm starting an OnlyFans, you know? And that would be, because I have no ethical qualm for that. Sorry, Mom. But
I could not.
No.
We're still trying to marry me
I can't
off.
have you do that.
No.
I can. Because I'm gay and I have an older brother who is married already. So the firstborn son is doing the whole straight man thing. Mm-hmm. Career.
No, like I just said, like we're literally still trying to marry me off.
Yeah. And like that's So, but I can do whatever I want. The freedoms of being a gay man.
So follow us along for our fitness journey.
Oh my gosh.
Nick's been writing down what he's been eating and sending it to our friend who is aptly named Buff Matt.
Yes. Buff Matt asked me to write down my diet for him. So I'm tracking it with an app and I'm sending him my diet.
You ate 3 peanut butter and jellies earlier.
No, I ate a peanut butter and jelly and a half.
So 3. You said 3.
No, I meant like 3 pieces of bread.
Oh.
One folded in half. I didn't eat 6 pieces of bread.
I literally heard it.
Honestly, though,
like,
I would eat 3 peanut butter and jellies in a row because I fucking love peanut butter and jelly so much.
Do you guys know what it's like being allergic to nuts?
Iconic.
And seeds. No. I can't even do sunflower seed butter. It's like a new thing. It's not really that new. It's been like 4 years, but like you guys, like I fantasize about peanut butter. Peanut butter,
it's just really great. And it's specifically American to add it in the way that we do it.
Yeah.
It's really good.
You have to go get it at American stores, like in Spain and stuff.
In China, you couldn't find it.
But like a PB&J is just like, so I can't have bread or the peanut butter. And I just.
You can have jelly.
Yeah. Some toast with jelly, some gluten-free jelly toast. Sounds fucking depressing.
You do butter though, right?
I eat butter, yeah.
Jelly toast.
I'm back on dairy hardcore. I don't know what this is. I've been taking some new supplement. I'll tell you guys about it later. I'm going to ask them to sponsor me. I can now eat dairy.
Well, that's exciting because a lot of people are like, I could never live without cheese.
Well, yeah. And I was dairy-free for years, but now all of a sudden this like certain gut healing supplement I've been taking, I am like a full-on, I ate a block of cheese before this podcast started.
She did.
I was amazing. All right, you guys, listen, if you like us, please share us with your friends and family. Please please subscribe, please follow, please leave a review.
We love reviews and ratings.
Just a wacky little review.
Oh my God.
Drink up.
A wacky review. We have to ban that word. Okay.
I want it out of my vocabulary. Otherwise, I'm going to I want you to tattoo it on yourself.
Wacky. Sorry for the people listening that aren't watching, just tattooed on my bottom lip.
Your
That's
inner
what that
lip,
noise
just
was.
wacky.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Nick, I would never be your friend.
You would get out of here. Get out of here.
All right, cheers, guys.
Bye.
Love you. See you next week.